We're talking about the Hawkeyes. It's the Cy-Hawk Trophy weekend. One of the more entertaining rivalries out there, even though it does require you to watch Iowa. Hawkeyes get it at home, 4-point favorite over the Iowa State Cyclones. Ben, some thoughts on this matchup?
My initial thought is, what's going to be the halftime entertainment? A paint watching competition? I also talked myself and everybody being down on Iowa, and then I kind of thought, man, 4 points in an Iowa game is a massive spread. That's the equivalent of Ohio State being favored by 55 or so. I just it's going to be ugly. It's a rivalry game. What happened the week before, you probably throw out. I love these matchups, but it's going to be a bring your hard hat and your lunch pail kind of game, because I would expect it to be low scoring and every bit of a grudge match.
Dave? Also, bring your phone with some good Wi-Fi so you can watch some better games while you're there too.
No love for defense. Come on, Dave.
All right, guys, here we go. Our big game tomorrow here on the Big 550, Mizzou at Kansas State. Wildcats favored by 8.5 or 9, depending on what book you're looking at. Let's get some thoughts here before a pick. Dave, we'll start with you.
I think it just comes down to possessions and what Missouri does with them. If they're punting a bunch, if they turn it over a bunch, they're just not going to get it back enough to score and to keep pace. Not that K-State's going to blow them out or anything like that, but I've been to enough games in Manhattan where they will get on that ball and they will sit on it. And you're looking up at the clock and like, gosh, it's been a half hour since Missouri's had possession. What's happened here? Oh, now we're in the fourth quarter. They've had the ball 3 times. So that can happen against a team like this. And you better have a lot of composure on the road, turnovers, penalties, things like that. You cannot afford, because you're just not going to get many touches. So I think that as much as we talk about the Missouri defense, and they've got to do a great job against Deuce Vaughn, this offense has to be a lot more efficient and a lot more mistake-free than it was a week ago.
Ben?
I think Missouri could win this game, but I don't think either team's going to win it by more than 3 or perhaps 7 points. So the spread just feels too large for me based on how we know Kansas State wants to play. This is a chance, as we've talked about, for Missouri to kind of start erasing the pretty low preseason expectations. I think we're going to learn a lot about Missouri in this team. I think we kind of know what Kansas State is. I don't know that if we talk about the Wildcats as we did today, we're gonna be stunned by things that develop over the course of their season. We know who they are. We know what they want to do. We don't know what Mizzou is made of quite yet. This game should give us a much better shot. But I like Kansas State to cover here, whether the Wildcats win or lose.
I feel like it's I feel like Mizzou is sort of the unknown still in this scenario. Kansas State, more of a known commodity, an All-American at running back. It's going to be sold out. I think you're going to have a crowd. Even at 11 a.m., I think it'll be pretty motivated, pretty pumped up. Love seeing an old Big 12 rival come back in. I hate to say it. I think Kansas State wins and covers this game. Dave, again, strictly because I feel like there's a few more things we know here about the Wildcats. But that's, if Mizzou comes in and upsets Kansas State, certainly would not shock me at all. But if we're trying to make a pick and going with what we know, I think Kansas State is the safer bet. So I'll take Kansas State to win and cover here against the Tigers.
Yeah, I definitely think K-State's more of the known commodity in this game. We know what to expect. Now, Adrian Martinez could get on a turnover binge. We saw him do it a lot at Nebraska. And if Blake Baker dials up the heat and the defense we saw last week was the real Missouri defense, then he can throw 3 interceptions pretty quickly. He threw 30 in 4 years at Nebraska. That's a lot. But I just think we know a little bit more about K-State, like you said. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to pick K-State to win this game, but I do think it recovers and stays within a touchdown.
There you go, folks. That is our Mizzou Football Friday show. Our picks are in the books. And, of course, Dave and Ben, guys, you both are there tomorrow, right?
We are, yeah. We'll have full coverage from Manhattan, both online at stltoday.com and in the pages of the Post-Dispatch. So it'll be a little road trip for us.